2. Happy Monday, everyone. This is Clutch Crypto with what's the name of our show again?
Coffee and some shit.
Crypto and Coffee. That's it. Yeah, Crypto and Coffee. Uh, and we had a big drop last night, so we're going to let B Williams take us straight to the charts and see what's going on.
Yeah, so here we are with the chart. Just kidding. Uh,
Hey, I'm totally not editing this show at all today. Like, listen to that. These guys don't even know what the name of the show is.
yeah, man. Well, sometimes it's like that. You are on, you're headed out of the country this week, so you're on vacation mode.
Hey, I'm taking all this shit with me, and we're still gonna do this show every morning.
Oh no, that's what's up. But
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do it on the beach. Maybe I just do it on my phone.
You can do it on your phone.
I don't know.
Maybe be hard to maneuver around, but I can maneuver for you on the book map and everything. I'll keep you in the mix.
Yeah, can you record it too? Hey, technically.
Now that.
Well, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this off
I don't
the
have
air.
a Nebuchadnezzar, so we'll see. I've got the portable version.
But you do.
But
we'll talk. We'll talk. Shut up. Shh. Talk about it later.
All right. Look. So here we go. Anyways, we always start this maze of lines that are here.
I'm in a short too. Is that a good thing? Is that a good place to be right now?
I mean, I'm still in my short that I've been in.
Well, I just got in a new one. Wait, since you're still in the short you were in like from last week?
I just eat off of it. I rebuild it when it goes up, and I eat off of it when it goes down. I don't think we've reached a good buying opportunity. And so until I see a good buying opportunity, I'm not going to go and release all of my shorts. So we're just ranging. So when it ranges up, I add to it. When it comes back down, I eat off a little bit of it, and we kind of go from there.
Smart, man.
But as we're looking at this chart, these green lines here are vector candles that were on the lower time frames, but we still, again, if you look at this, still have vector candles below. So the narrative is, what we've talked about is we have bounced along this trend line here, came back up, bounced off of this trend line, which is just a channel, the channel that we've been in. So we've been really just ranging here. And so what I anticipate is that we get back into these areas, maybe even down into this area eventually. But there's so much, the market is so responsive to these moves that as we go down, you get a lot of shorts in place. And so we've got to come up to pop those shorts to then continue to the downside. And so, this move here, right, everybody was talking bull. I think everybody was looking at 3,000 as being the holding point. Obviously, it hasn't been. This move here, you can just say was a fake move, or you can say that we, came out of this level. We broke these ranges here that we were in. We broke through the 50, came up to this trend line, broke back down. And so, really, for guys that trade breakouts, if this thing starts to move back up, you're going to get a lot of longs that come into place that are buying off of this break and this off of this retrace and this move back up. It wouldn't surprise me if they decided to move back up in order to trap those longs and then come back down into these areas. But these trend lines will remain. But we still have these vectors, and we also still have these large wicks that are down here. And so that's always, that's all also, I don't want to say concerning, but it is something that is an imbalance in the chart that price likes to come back to. And obviously it's got momentum to the downside, but I do anticipate a couple of bumps just to throw off traders that trade those breakout patterns, those level one retrace patterns, because there are a few of us out there that do that, me and myself being included. But on this particular retrace, I just don't think it's going to hold. One, because of the macro environment. Two, because
the lower low, baby.
There's some of those the macro noise that's happening right now. So if we go on the hourly, again, you mentioned it before. We've broken down below the daily open. We've broken down, taken some of these levels. This was a peak, as you mentioned. So we did break through that lower low. So I'm going to eliminate that. And so we just keep knocking out these zones. We did get down here to the low ADR, and so we've had a little bit of a pump. I'm sure that there's a ton of liquidations that's happening right now. People are going to be buying the dip. Those that think that this is the final. For me, I'm not there yet. I just think that we have too much imbalance in the chart. If we have one wick, or if we have one vector candle below us, that'd be one thing. But there's just there's a setup of imbalances, on that
Hey man,
chart. I just don't
I got
believe
I got
we're gonna
something
get.
coming in just a few minutes. I can't wait to show you.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Here, if we look at this on the hourly again, we've got some volume that's coming in. The big volume last night was coming uh, off of the cascade down. We've had some volume that returned into the chart, but nothing significant. We've got RSI that's coming off of baseline here, and we've got momentum waves also to the downside. So, again, we may have a small little pump, and we kind of pumped up this morning to like 29.40 after the big drop, and here we are at 29.18. And so I think we're still just ranging around. But I do think we still have downside momentum overall. We just have to see how today and tomorrow plays out for the real moves to happen, later on in the week. If we then go into the 5 minute to kind of look at things more on a smaller time frame, it just, we've had this cross of the EMAs. We've just busted up above the 50, rejected off of the 200. I really don't see anything. Yeah, we've had a little bit of vector candles that we've already come back and taken out here, but it just seems that the EMAs have started to expand, and I don't know. We're at this low ADR. We'll probably range within this low ADR for a little bit, and then decide on a direction. But again, Monday, Tuesday, I wouldn't put too much into it, at this point in time, because Mondays tend to be a false move. We got this last night, so even if they came back up, the market likes to do that. Likes to go down 4 or 5%, retrace 2%. Everybody thinks it's headed back up, and then we're still for the day down -2, and then it comes back down after that. And so it becomes a little bit of a challenge, with the early parts of the week
Sure,
being the
sure.
way that they are. And so if we move on to things like funding rate, I expected all this to be pretty negative. I think once you have these types of drops, they drop, and then people start buying the dip, and then they move into a positive. But right here, we're kind of mixed across the board. From that end, if we look at open interest, so I'll have to click. Open interest 7.3 billion. I mean, again, we've been in the 7.1 to 7.4 billion-dollar range, for a while. If we look at, aggregated over the time, we've had this, increase, decrease here, and basically, I would say that OI is pretty much has remained, flat overall. This is also on the 1 hour. If we look at it in 15-minute. We're pretty much in line. I mean, the liquidations are happening as we speak. As price goes up and down, you've got a lot of folks that are positioning. But again, on this Monday, it seems like it's more of just a turnabout. What I haven't done is pull up Market Watch. So let's do that. Calendar. So today being the 18th, we've got, the home builders index coming out at 10 a.m. Then we've got some comments that are coming out. So we'll see what comes to. This comes at 10 a.m. Building permits. We've got a lot of real estate things are happening this week as far as home sales. And then Thursday, we've got all of the different jobless claims, continuous claims, and then manufacturing survey and some Fed talk. So not a huge week. relative to news announcements, but just a lot of commentary coming in from folks. Since we're here, let's just go to Market Watch and look at, to see what the market's doing. We're pretty much flat. We've got, gold that's up 1%, oil's back over $100, almost 110. Overall, market looks to be, flat to the downside. You've got the headlines that are out here news-wise. You know, nothing that's looking.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Out of all the pictures that are out there with the Wall Street Bull, that's the best fucking one that the people on Market Watch could find.
That. This is
Come on, man.
I don't know. You got this chicken here. She eating a rib. I don't know what's going on. Maybe she's a little hungry.
I don't know, man.
But they. This looks like an Instagram photo that somebody just said, "Well, let me just put this as a headline."
Probably. They're probably doing it for a friend. They're like, "Hey, I'm trying to get you some viewers."
If you look at the headlines, largest cryptocurrencies drop on Bitcoin Cash. Spot declines.
The crypto world's coming to an end. Hey, we were telling you guys about this a few weeks ago, folks. We think more countries are going to get into this, and what are more countries going to want to do? They're going to want to buy Bitcoin at lower prices. So how do we get there? Exactly what's happening right now. We're on our way down, but hey, how low will we go? We don't know.
So why don't you hop into Bookmap and let's see what.
You want to see High Block first, or you just want to go straight to Bookmap?
No, let's go to High Block. We can go to High Block.
Let's do it. Okay. Let me just update this. Can you see it?
Yes. No. Hold on. I can't. That was premature.
Can't see anything right now.
Yeah.
1 second. Now you can see it. Can you see it now? How about now? Bueller. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is High Block Capital Alpha with the ETH on Binance chart. As you can see, well, guys, we're not super filled in here. As you can see, I mean, there's a lot of big gaps. There's nothing as filled in, as heavily and as thickly as like we normally see in these areas. We do have a cumulative liquidation level of currently just under $-4 billion. So we have a little liquidation, short liquidations that are starting to pop up in this range. Will we move back into these ranges to retrieve some of these liquidity and liquidations that we have out there? I absolutely think we will. This looks like around $3,000 range. We want to pay real close attention to not breaking over 3,078. If we do that, we'll have a new lower or a new higher high. So that's something we definitely want to pay attention to. We're kind of hanging out in this area around 2930 area currently. And I totally agree with Pete Wellington. I think we're going to see some ranging going on, possibly throughout the day, just kind of seeing what's happening. I'm going to slide over here and bring Bookmap to the table. So we're about 30 minutes into it. As you can see, we're just slowly ranging in this area. Orders are currently kind of neutral right now. Our CBD did drop. We were around -38,000 a while ago. We're down to -41,000. And as you can see, we have orders stacked, below us like clockwork down here. Literally just about every, $30-$40 once we get down here into the 2870 range, which I believe 2870 was a new low. Was going to be a new low if we break that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get down and breaking it. We're just kind of ranging slowly. We're sitting here on this VWAP here on this chart that we're looking at currently now, and as you can see, the orders to the downside are trying to stack up. So we'll just have to see what happens here. Again, I would pay attention 3070 on the top side. If we get above that area, we're definitely have a possibility of continuing higher. As far as down here, we had a low area. Let's see. Probably look at it a little bit better. Around the 2900s, it looks like a little under 2900. So if we break that last low wick that we just had happen overnight, can expect some more movement to the downside. These orders that we're seeing, I expect a little bit of range in here with some continuation to the downside later today. New York did open with a nice stop hunt to the high, so they did pump and then they came back real quick. So I think that may have been them just filling up their order books for some downside action this morning. But we'll see how it plays out. So pay attention, everyone, to those critical areas that we just spoke about. See what happens when we get to those areas. And if we do a breakout from those areas, please make sure you're on the right side of this trade. That's all I have for today. We'll see you a little bit earlier tomorrow because I got to catch a plane. So probably about 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we'll see you tomorrow. Until next time.